Jack Beck.
Present.
Richard Perdon.
Present.
And Bacon is not here, but I'm here. Is there any business from the floor?
I'm with Corn Condors, back, this is Ron. We want to do a swap meet out at the airport, possibly May 28th. And we can discuss some of the ins and outs, details about it. Now or later?
Go ahead now.
If it's not on the agenda, we can't have any action on it.
No, I know that, but you can discuss in what, 3 minutes or?
Yeah, 3 minutes. We'll talk fast.
Okay.
We're all dealing with condors, and we've got about 10 active members. We're doing real good. We have good working relations with the people that fly out there. So I'm going to turn it over to Ron. I don't know where you're going. I spoke with Barbara on Saturday about you guys are having an Eagles Club thing on the 21st. And I used to do the Eagles Club in Lona, I did that, and you administration was a flying team. Well, we noticed that a lot of young kids will be there, and we'd like to have a swap meet after the thing when we do our display, because Barbara asked us to have a display there with our sequence. And I'm sure a lot of kids have been asking me around here when I drive around or fly RC planes, where can I go, where can I get one, things like that. And we also have a website, and there's been activity on the website too. A lot of people have had interest. We've had a lot of young kids that are 16 to 18 that I've talked to on social media who would like to come out and join the club, but just don't know how to get started, get into the club. And we figured, when you guys have the Eagles thing, we can also talk to them at the time and show them, hey, look, come out on weekdays, Saturdays. We do have a fly on Saturdays, and we teach you how to fly. We are a non-profit organization, so we don't charge anyone to come out and fly. Just come out, pay the membership and the club fees, and we'll teach you how to fly.
When did you going to have the swap meet?
The 28th, right after you're at the Eagles Club, so that way the kids that were at the Eagles Club,
May 28th?
yeah, would go right after that following weekend and be fresh in their mind, and we can show them everything. Possibly, we have about a month lead time, possibly as many as maybe 50, about that. I'd have to out of the area. I don't want to advertise that until I got permission.
What is the time frame and who does the city need to contact regarding this? I'm sorry, I got an answer. So what time to what time did you plan on having the swap meet?
It would be like from 8 in the morning until noon.
And the name of the contact the city could
Dean?
Dean, what's your last name?
Back, UTTPR-BACK. He's our club president.
Could you possibly give Robin a phone number to contact you?
Yes, I have his number.
Robin, right here.
Robert?
From the city.
Okay, she needs a number.
I'm sorry, from the city.
586-9480. So
I will take this account for the staff at one of our weekly meetings, which will be Wednesday, and discuss if it's associated with the condors, if we need a special event permit application, or if it's associated with the group if we're okay. So let me get the requirements from you, and I will ask. Because I know that the Young Eagles meeting, because it's something that occurs out there, they did not need a special event permit, but that's why I just took that.
What area would you use?
we're going to fly at the north runway, the Tidal ramp area.
Which is quite a distance, and how would they get there? Have to walk?
Well, that's what we were just talking about on the way here. We were going to talk about doing a ramp to the gate where you can walk through the access. My biggest fear is I wouldn't want to send anyone from the hangars worried about, there's people who be wandering off going to our hangars. That's why I wanted it down at the top end of the tie-in still, so no one can linger. We'll have them come through the gate, we'll have club members stand at the gate and direct people. I'll make a barricade with some caution tape and stuff, just for no one to go across the barricade, going toward the runway at all, or even make any kind of approach toward the runway.
Propellers can catch that caution tape, I don't know if airplanes going to do that.
Well, I'm sorry.
Propellers have caught the caution tape, I think, right at the corner one time.
Yes.
So airplanes do know the caution tape, or
No.
just cars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, approve the minutes of the October 4th, commission meeting.
I approve. I must second approve.
All in favor? So approved. And next on the agenda is discussion of the use of paragliders at the Corning Airport.
Commissioners, I put this item on there as a request from a citizen, who I think is here can answer questions, and I will just give a brief description of what I understand in the direction that I have been given regarding, from the Division of Aeronautics. So, there are people that would like to use our airport, not the runways, I understand, but the apron area off to the side, no taxiway use, no runway use for paragliders. I reached out to the Division of Aeronautics because I am working on this, or I've heard rumor of this at multiple airports, including Red Bluff. And in general, the Division of Aeronautics does not like to see any operations other than registered aircraft accessing the runway and taxiway. As we discussed, they don't want to use those items, they just want to use the apron area for takeoff and landing. My recommendation to commission, if you guys would support or would like to support the use of the airport for paragliders, is that we put restrictions on it that they should remain clear of the runway and taxiway safety areas, and they should operate not to interfere with registered aircraft that will be flown in the regular and stay well below traffic pattern altitude. So, if you guys want to ask questions or present anything, we can have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
My question is are they powered or are they just free flying?
Yes, absolutely.
My name is Roger Smith, I'm from Red Bluff, and I'm thinking to support of powered parachutes, PPC, or PPG, which is powered paragliders. The little two-wheel car, it has a good four-stroke or two-stroke motor on the back, and it has a parachute above it and a seat. And it's one of the safest stores for low and slow flying birds that utilize excessively for unusual. I've flown twice, so that tells my experience. However, I have been down and flown with a couple of guys, they fly out of the airport down south, and have an agreement where they exactly like this. They don't use the runway, what they do is they just take off, they make sure they clear the traffic patterns. Am I correct, sir?
Go on, so that's not the question, but we go on.
Okay, sir. The question, am I answering the question?
It's very hard to understand if
We're not sure what I'm saying, we're saying to the mass, number one, but you're part 103, are you not?
Anyway, I'm just not sure what you're saying. I'll keep my mouth shut because I don't sit here on my red hot. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Thank you. Shut out the mouth, but I have an open on my red hot, but you don't get sick. However, we are asking the permission to fly paragliders out of the Corning Airport. Thank you. And I think that's have an engine on, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. Any other questions for me?
Part 103.
Sir, I'm trying to think of a hard route.
You're the third letter of part 103.
I don't know how to answer that. Yeah. I don't know how to answer the question. You're the red about airport commission on time.
If you're part 103, your question is new.
Sure.
If you're a third letter,
Does the commission understand my question, what we're trying to do here?
Can you answer Tony's question?
No, I haven't actually. They don't know the answer to the question.
it's the third letter of part 103.
Anything, but the way it goes with paragliders is, if it's on steel, you don't need the light.
I'm not asking does it need a link, if the aircraft or part of that whole
You would have to get certified to get, you can't get certified by 2 feet or more.
Nevertheless, I think all the lights are the same.
I understand. Yes, and then instead of light 20, or light 40.
And they have a 254-pound separation and a 100-pound separation. Point is this is a airport of which they have access to. They don't have to ask permission to fly at an uncontrolled airport. I don't know why you're here. They have no authority over the paraglider coming in or out of that airport.
True.
Might you change to them and ask, where is the best place, like the condors do, to fly their legalized operation along the tarmac? They might ask the city, what is the best place for us to use our little complex here? But just like with the aircraft that were in here a couple of weeks ago, none of them used the runway, they all used the third strip.
Yes.
When we had 20 of them in here the other day, am I correct? Very few of them used the runway. But the airport is for their use, so I don't understand why, even requesting.
Well, that's it.
You have access to that airport by law. You are an authorized by definition.
But at the same time, with my ultralight, it's a 2-seater, I have to get my...
That's different. 2 seaters is a different rule.
I understand the 2-seater. Yeah.
You can do it under 55 acres, but doesn't change the airplane.
No, not at all. Yep.
That's all I'm getting. I don't know why you're going to lose permission. Oh, yeah, for them to fly, they don't need it.
Well, it's courtesy.
Well, my thing about that is, certainly what you're talking about is where we fly our planes. And then we pick up that whole thing when we fly. That's what I mean. I think you're out there one time with a white truck.
No, I've been out there before, it's like 4 times with Commission, and it might be no law.
Yeah, there was another gentleman up there.
Now that that's cleared up.
So Robin, what were you saying?
So, my direction by the Division of Aeronautics was to bring it to you guys to get direction if it's something that you guys support, because it is a safety issue in the airport. Just, we want to make sure that we're aware of what's being used at our airport is consistent with, our RTK flying in that certain area.
So where would they be flying at the airport?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, it's a matter of definition. If they fit in with that ultralight single seat thing, well then they have the right, and much more than that, I mean, you have to disprove they don't. So I'd say, basically, someone needs to look into definition, and if it fits that definition of single seat ultralight, they can do what they want to do.
As long as it's safe.
As long as it's safe.
There can't be setting up with the parachute on the runway,
No.
like, is that the concern too, is it takes time for you to prep the equipment, it's not just...
We can't consume the runway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, the runway. So that's some of the concerns with the safety that we have all.
I don't have an expectation at all.
I would say just look into the definition of it and how it would affect us and make a ruling again. I mean, I see no problem.
Okay. So I would need to take this to council if I can define or not define if it's a 103. As the same as an ultralight, correct? You guys would support restrictions on where they can take off from if we...
This place is actually on that.
And, by the way, will you have a radio?
I believe so, yes.
Not required.
No, I mean, it help.
Well, it doesn't help, yeah.
I mean, if you use it.
That's why I put it, I had to think about what I consider a safety aspect, you know, think about it a little bit of a safety aspect.
Any other discussion?
I don't have a problem with that.
So next on the agenda is the report by Robin, the master plan.
Okay. So, we've had Armstrong Consulting preparing, two projects for us, the city's airport master plan and the pavement management plan through, our entitlement fund with the FAA. So right now, the pavement management plan is complete with the exception of the final review of it. So you guys will be seeing that very soon. They went through, we did it via drones. They're going back and back checking some of those images with the FAA prior to bringing the final report to us. So that is in the process and almost complete. That falls right into place with our airport layout plan, our ALP. The last update we received on that was they submitted the working paper to the city and the technical advisory committee for review. They are continuing the preparation of the recommended taxiway and apron design layout and supporting text for that. They are working on the updated map, plan sheets, and everything that goes along with that. The next steps are to complete the airport waste recycling plan, which is required in the new ALPs. They're going to continue working through the map. They have begun development on the financial plan and capital improvements program. So if I start getting those lists and we get the map, and we get a condition or a tentative map, I will bring it to you guys to continue more discussions, in addition to the technical advisory committee, to make sure that everything that we kind of want to see in the 10-year future is on there, or that we could see in the 10-year future is on there, so that way we can pull off of that plan for funding. So it has to be on that plan to be able to be funded through the FAA entitlement fund. Then, as part of that too, the technical advisory committee will meet again, and now that we can be back in person, hopefully we can meet in person to review the recommended apron, taxi, and runway design. They've changed some of the requirements based on the current standards. That is the update on that. They've not given me a date, the next date. That was as of February 15th update, and I have not received the invoice, but I do know that they have made another site visit since then to make some more suggestions. Any questions on that?
Still going.
From the audience, for those?
Rose Lane here.
However, we're going to be excused.
Okay.
Thank you, Airport Commission, for hearing this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I noticed that there is need for some immediate repair. There are excessive weeds growing up between the cracks sealant is failing, and I heard you mention a 10-year plan. What's in the immediate plan?
So we'll discuss weeds later on it's on the agenda tonight, so we can discuss that when we get there.
Well, besides weeds, there's also the excessive cracking of the pavement that's out here.
So we do not have an immediate, because our ALP is expired. So the fencing project is the last thing on our ALP that we can do. The payment management plan and this document will bring those items to the forefront so we can make those changes and use our grant funding for that. If they're not in those documents, we cannot do it with the grant funding. So,
what is your schedule to receive grant funding for a project?
So we have a fiscal year as HCIP, which is the next item that we're going to discuss regarding what items we are proposing on doing. Rehabilitating the taxiway, rehabilitating the aprons. That's all in the estimated 2022 budget.
Okay, so it just funded in 2023?
Yes. Fiscal year 20. Well, I don't know if it was 22, 23, or 23, 24, because they break it separate, depending if it's Caltrans or if it's FAA.
Well, with my experience with pavement preservation, since I worked for the California Pavement Preservation Center for over 10 years, and I was a materials engineer for Caltrans, as well as a construction senior and a resident engineer, from my experience, I can tell you from the condition of the pavement, if we start getting some wet weather, we're going to see very, very rapid deterioration of what's out there.
Understand, and so do our consultants. That's why we're doing the PMMC, the pavement management plan survey, so we can justify the state of the pavement to take to the FAA. They won't release grant funding for projects unless we show them that is a new requirement.
Well, some of it's just basic cleanup that should be done all along. Thank you.
So are you, do you have anything, did you also include them before in your
No,
discussion?
I got a lot more.
Okay.
So I'll give you an update on grants. So additional grants outside of the 2024. Additional grants outside of our standard entitlement funds that we receive annually. We have received $20,000 for operations maintenance and to replace in-kind components through the CARES grant. We have those funds. The CRRSA fund is an additional $9,000 for utility costs, which we can backdate to the beginning of COVID, so we can recuperate those monies and put those monies back into our operating fund for the airport. The ARPA funds, we received $22,000 for utility costs, again, or management for the pathogens. We're looking at the requirements for those ones to make sure what we can and cannot spend those monies on. We also are anticipating $110,000 in the bipartisan infrastructure law airport allocation. So the bipartisan funds that are being distributed in addition to the standard entitlement funds. We are anticipating using those funds as soon as they're released for the PAPI repair project to get the PAPI back on.
Okay.
So that's what, we moved that from a lighting project that was way down there, we moved it up to this year. As soon as those funds are released, we're going after that and to approve the PAPI repairs. So, $110,000? $110,000. So with that, we will be removing that concrete block that is shifted, regrading the drainage in that area so we don't have a reoccurrence of what's going on and repairing it correctly. That time, they will fly it, do a certification of the PAPI system, and that will all be included in the grant funding. So that's our goal. 2023, the anticipation is to rehabilitate the runway, design, bid, and construction, to rehabilitate taxiway A and the associated connector taxiways, again, design, bid, and construction, and then to rehabilitate the apron. So pavement maintenance projects is what the goal is in 2023.
I had a call the other day from a 99 flying from the Butte 99s, and she wanted to know if their chapter could paint new 1.5 and 3.3 so that we could see it from the air. So obviously it's,
If they want to do that before the rehab, have them contact me because I know how to get them to do it, but if they want to wait till after the rehab and donate the time to do that, we can do that.
Would the city donate the paint?
The city would purchase the paint.
Purchase the paint?
Yes. Yeah, and they can donate the labor.
Well, of course,
Yes.
yeah.
We're doing that with the Thomas Road and Midwest, so they are doing that with Thomas Road and Midwest.
Yeah, I know.
Are you doing it? Yes.
So is the pavement rehab going to be an overlay, a slurry seal, a microsurfacing, or what are you planning as far as
I am not planning anything. That's all going to come from the pavement management plan, the stage of the pavement at that time. It will be designed, it will be a full project being prepared. Well, I can't say I know what they're going to propose at this time.
Well, the design and everything needs to be able to go to bid about 2 months before beginning of work.
I understand.
And their evaluation should be redone close to the project being put to bid.
Correct. That's, the pavement management plan slide looks at it, they go out and do a full circle before the design, it will be a complete project.
They've already done a complete topo.
Correct, but as part of that project, they will go out and reassess the portions that they're gonna be doing
Okay.
as part of the design.
So, in order to know what can be done out there, how much money are you asking for? And that should be, there should be a preliminary estimate floating around now.
Currently, the entire project is $450,000.
Okay, who has done a preliminary estimate?
Our design consultant, our airport consultant.
The ones out of Colorado.
Yes.
Well, you should have, on that preliminary, engineer's estimate, you should have what the work is going to
Currently,
be.
it's just for grant funding. I don't have a full breakdown of engineer's estimate.
I would really suggest you request that.
We will, when we get the funding to pay them for that project. So we bring them in, we task order it, and we go through the current process for each project. Yes.
I would like to see us try to get the engineers to give us a displaced threshold. And the guys doing the survey thought it might not be a problem to do that. But it wouldn't make aircraft flying operations any closer to the high school or anything, because we'd only be able to take off on it going to the north. And it's just a safety area in the south.
Okay. Would that be something that we include on our ALP?
Probably have to talk to the engineers and see if
I will ask
do it.
Armstrong and see if it's something that we can do.
Are you familiar with the displaced threshold? When we paved and put in a new runway, we kept part of the old runway as a taxiway. And really, you can't use it for takeoff. And there's a couple of lights, right? Right. That are coming the way too. But if we could use it for displaced threshold, then you could use that for taking off, not for landing on, but for taking off. And you would have chevrons on it showing that it's a displaced threshold. I know Richard would appreciate it.
I use it on runway.
And it would let larger airplanes go a little safer.
I'm reviewing with them on Wednesday, so.
You want that added to the CLP, is that correct?
What's that?
You want that added to the CLP? ALP.
It's possible.
Any other discussion?
I have 3 more projects.
Okay.
2025, they're looking at doing the airfield lighting system design, upgrade design. In 26, the following year, we would follow with the actual construction of the updated lighting. And then in 27, they currently have on here a fueling area. I know we've gone back and forth on that, so it's kind of one of those things that we're holding to make sure the FAA knows it's something we want to do.
To have fueling therapy?
Where's the place for it?
Yeah.
Yes, there will definitely be a designated location on our ALP for filming. So if it comes or it's something we want to entertain doing, it's something we're not going to have to argue because it'll just be approved as that's part of the ALP. Those are the updated projects.
What was it on 2026, what did you have?
2026 would be the construction of the lighting system, okay, the lighting system. Design would be the year before.
In 2027, is that when the fueling station?
Is currently scheduled.
Takes a long time.
Yes, and there'll be some additional funding. The grant, the bipartisan grant, we anticipate $110,000 for 5 years. So that's how we can do some additional projects if we don't have enough in the entitlement next time. So that's what we've been told we will receive for 5 consecutive years. Number 5, airport tie-down. I do not put this on here, so I can't.
Well, I just wondered, since we don't have an FBO out there, you know, is the city doing anything to maintain the tie-downs? They're important here at airport, and, you know, like, last Saturday, you know, EAA meeting was in, there was like 6, 7 planes, tied down, same thing that, you know, the month before. And one of the things that normally an FBO does is charge $5 for overnight tie-downs. You know, and the city could have a box out there with a thing on it, so that when people come in and stay overnight, they put their money in the box. But the tie-downs need to be checked and, you know, make sure that they're usable.
Okay, the tie-downs need to be replaced with chain.
That's what they do at Red Rock, yeah.
And due to the fact that they keep continuously using that rope, if someone's going to tie the plane up, he's going to have a heck of a windy day, and they're going to lose a plane.
I'd say if the rope is in good shape, put it on and replace it right away. Just inspect them, I guess.
And then, next on the agenda is the status of the airplane, hangars and contact list. I think that was, you were going to number the hangars?
So that was the question. I went back and read the minutes because I wanted to make sure that I was to look to see if there were standards for numbering the units. There are not. So it would be your guys' discretion. Would you like, if they're on the building, the city cannot do that because they are privately owned hangars that are leasing property. So we cannot touch the hangars with the numbers on it.
That's why it goes on the ground.
Correct. But we have discussed with the commission putting them on the building. I want direction from the commission to know, do we still want to go on the building or do we want to put them on the ground?
If we put them on the ground and we pay it, we should have both, because they'll be covered up for a while. This is what I put online. I can't see it. It's much brighter when it's glued on and
If we do it, we want to make sure it's standard, that everything is consistent through all of them. If we're going to have them on, we need to come up with a standard that we can give to the hangar owners to have them provide numbers of certain size, certain color, and certain location.
Location.
Yeah. Or you put them on the ground out front and make sure that they're stenciled in. Whatever direction you want to go, I just need direction.
Also, we have a sequence. It's just a matter of getting them in the same location so somebody drives by knows.
Yes, and see what they are.
It's kind of interesting, she's right about no threat standard, presence over, but there are some, like for instance, the military bases set a standard. The various public airports set a standard. I made a phone call the other day on just that subject that was interesting. The people who do the painting at airports are generally outside of contractors, they're not government contractors, or, you know, the people that do highways. They have suggested approaches on how to do the numbering and the size to put in front of hangars. So if you're just going to bring the people that did the paint job out here, they'll give you some recommendations of what they have done in the past. You know, as far as that. The little thing Mr. Davies had there is fine if you know what they're looking for a number, but when a fire department is coming in and you want something big enough that they can see.
And at nighttime, sometimes.
Also after Mr. Davies swept about putting it on the hangar door. If the hangar door is up, you don't see anything.
don't have any little problem.
If you're not the one that's not on fire, they're fine. If your fire is not in line, doesn't it?
Should they be on the street also in case of fire?
Facing the street, you're saying?
Yeah, should you have numbers that can be visible from?
We even said hangar 7 up there for a while.
I'm just just thinking if there was a fire and the firemen are trying to get in, the numbers can be reported from the street side from anybody, but if the person isn't on the airport, they have no clue of what hangar numbers on fire.
We need them on the go ahead with pavement, because the few times it snows, they're going to be locked out for the permit. I don't know how often that happens, but...
I would think the fire department would have a gate code.
They do.
Well, they got a gate code, but they got to find what hangar is on fire if it's reported.
Yeah, but somebody can see smoke pouring out and say hangar number 7, for instance, if it's from the street. If you don't have a number street side, all they can say is, I see a hangar on fire.
Yeah, that's fine.
The main trouble I had was ELT going up in the hangar.
The what?
DLTs.
Oh.
And couldn't find out who owned the hangar, what the number was. Big problem. It lasted about 3 days tracking it down.
That could be a problem.
So anyway, I put a number on mine, and then Richard's putting them on theirs, and may not be the right one, but it's a number.
That's what I know.
Okay.
Well, I'll be right.
He don't get it.
Would you like me to put together a size, color, location for the pavement markings also?
I think so.
And get your guys'
Why don't you ask the fire department, the police department, how they'd like to see that identified? They're the ones gonna be responding. Why don't you ask the first responders what they'd like to see?
That's a good idea.
Well, first of all,
What we always had to do, we had to have state security.
they can't figure out how to get through the gate because they lost the combination.
Well, another thing is we have to look at the county, but beyond that.
Speaking of did you find out why it was up?
I did not.
No. Our guys went in and automatically closed it. Opened the box, reset it, and it closed. So I do not know why it was up, other than it defaulted.
Nothing we could do to, has to be done with the
We
special
have
key.
a special key, open it, and put the little switches inside.
Next.
So, discussion on weed control?
Kind of did that.
So we went out and got bids for weed control out of the airport. We received 2 bids, in addition to actually having staff go out and weed and cut down the weeds adjacent. That is in the schedule, right now to do that. But we were gonna have them spray in addition, do a more significant weed control this year. And the lowest bidder who we awarded to, because it was within budget, declined doing the work after we awarded them. So, we now only have 1 bidder, and it is a very significant cost to do. He's asking over $5,000 to just spray the airport. So, we're looking at other options. I did ask staff to prioritize as much as I could, to get some guys out there to do the weeds, to get the weeds down. So,
We're doing that today.
they were out there today?
They're coming on today, too.
Well, we're trying. We're down in a full-time employee right now. So we're bouncing around. I'm glad to hear they were out.
Yeah.
But I am gonna try to find or locate another sprayer to be able to do it. Just the cost was significant.
Check back to me.
I'm not licensed, but I do it for free.
Well, we've had some, people at the airport doing things for free. The boys on paid it and fixed up the bathroom.
Okay.
And, I think, I appreciate what they're doing. We've had a lot of that at our airport in the past, pilots just taking over common themselves to fix up the airport. But that, bathroom, is a city bathroom, and it should be supplied and cleaned by the city.
I have to.
And I know I've asked for that before.
you need to, I will follow up on that. Because I know you have, and I know Christina maybe, and I can't remember.
So, my wife basically did the majority of the work in there. Of course, I had to do the mechanical stuff. But we need somebody to come in there once a week and clean it up. They keep it clean.
And
it's clean.
have supplies as well, and into the garbage.
Yes, yes. It's just typical maintenance, and it's nice and clean now, but I like it to stay that way. And we donated about $200 worth of stuff to put in there already done.
Also, I brought a copy of the insurance for the amigos.
Did you email that to me too?
I don't know if they emailed it to you. Did you get an email copy? Okay. Did you want to? Yeah. And also, I'd like to request having a porta potty out there for that day. You know, because having the public using the bathroom would be a real problem, so we've always in the past had a porta potty.
The city ordered the porta potty?
Oh, yes, Did you want one of these?
And then Lisa and I, we got missed on item 6 regarding contact listing. Lisa has put together what contacts we have. We are going through and going to contact those and ask for a local contact for you. We have a couple that we can't get hold of. So I'm sure you're having that same problem. So, right? So when we get this, we'll make sure. I don't know how we distribute it, Lisa, we'll have to work through what information we can share and cannot share, but the police will for sure have a copy, so when emergencies and fires, when emergencies get called in, they have a local contact also. And they have a map of the hangars also. I did verify that they have that information. And who the owner was of each one.
Any items placed on the agenda from the floor? I guess we already did that. Okay, so adjourned? Okay. Thank you all.
I'm not familiar with that.